Although I really didn't make much of the first Meg film, I will at least grant that it did kind of find that tonal balance between comedy and action horror. It knew how to be campy and fun, and while the film was generic and not memorable in the least, like, it wasn't a completely wasted watch. Meg 2 The Trench struggles to find that balance, and to me the biggest problem with it is the plot itself. For the first 20 minutes or so, I actually was semi on board with this film. You get reintroduced to Jason Statham as this kind of like transport era ass-kicking eco-warrior going aboard kind of illegal cargo vessels in the ocean and just beating up sailors. And the eerie way we're kind of reintroduced to this captive Meg and the way that corporations are trying to exploit this marine life for financial gain at least seemed like it was going to lend the film more of a substantial narrative. And then basically it all goes downhill from there. And I think it sums it up perfectly that if the best scenes in a shark film are hand-to-hand fight scenes between human characters, you've definitely done something wrong. And in the case of Meg 2 The Trench, what it does wrong is forget about the sharks for most of its runtime. The plot point of just throwing more Megs into the mix is neither inspired nor interesting. The actual plot point of exploring the trench and investigating what's down there and potentially uncovering new secrets really leads to nothing in the way of kind of atmosphere or horror or scary moments or even fun moments amidst the scares. The film almost kind of becomes aware of that and attempts to circumvent that in the final act, where it kind of comes back to the surface with sharks terrorizing kind of a holiday island. But it seemed like there was this weird realization of, oh, hang on, we've not really had any Meg action in this film so far. Let's just give them 3 Megs. We'll also just throw in a Kraken, because we can. A lot of people in reviews that I saw were kind of praising the final act as the only good element of the film. I wouldn't say that at all. I would say the film starts okay and just plummets down to trench level bad. Like, there was some creativity on display in the final act with this kind of POV from inside a shark's mouth. That would have been great, I feel, had they turned that into an entire like one-shot sequence, but as it happens it's only on screen for about 5 seconds. And the film just logistically and tonally doesn't exploit this idea of having 3 megalodons terrorizing a civilian population. You only ever see them one at a time. Conveniently, the hero only has to deal with them one at a time. I'm sure people could have fun with it, and I'm sure that niche fandom that just love shit shark films will be all over Meg 2, but I for one definitely was not. I'm not going to talk about this film anymore because it's not worth talking about, but if you enjoyed it, fair play, drop a comment below. I would be curious to know what you thought. Please also consider liking and subscribing to the channel, guys. That's always a huge help for me, and in the meantime we'll see you for the next vid.